You are tuned to ARP on the Accelerated Radio Network. It's 12 noon, and it's time to have lunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Bringing money talk you can understand. And now here's your host, Miss Charline.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Charline, and welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Today we have in the studio Miss Katrina Schenfield. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Katrina's been on before, and we asked her to come back because we really want to talk to her and really focus on her business and how she got to the life of success that she has reached. So thank you for coming in again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So today, this episode will be focusing on the emotional and human aspects of money and business. And so I wanted to talk to you about your path to success, you know, where you found freedom and the ability to express yourself and be successful doing it. How's that?
That sounds great.
Okay, because my customers, which are my listeners, really want to know. Okay, so today we're talking to you about skincare. You have an skincare line, and the first thing I'd like to ask you is how did you get started? How did you get started in this field?
Well, I started in skincare due to my own struggles with my skin. For several years, I had terrible skin. It started with oily skin, which developed into acne. From acne, I had acne scarring. Then I had dark marks left over when the acne eventually went away. So that was hyperpigmentation and pitting, and then cracked peeling skin from super dry skin. And so it just went on and on and on for several years. And so over about a 7-year period of dealing with this and seeing different doctors who couldn't help, of course, I was feeling terribly, excuse me, and so feeling very depressed, and just eventually that spiraled into a really deep depression, and I tried to commit suicide.
Wow.
Yeah, when my suicide attempt didn't work, I eventually went to the kitchen and started making my own skincare products. I decided I've got to do something about this, and so that's how that started.
Okay, so let's talk about this like one stage at a time. So, because that's a lot to consume, and to go from the point where you felt like you had no hope to the point where you're now successful running your own business, that's a journey. And we want to walk that journey with you to this point.
Yes.
Okay. And so what services do you offer in your business? What type of products do you have?
So each of my products are 100% handcrafted, completely natural, and completely non-toxic. They cover everything from cuticle butter to deodorant to tooth powder to facial cleanser to facial oils to body scrubs, body butters, so from head to toe pretty much. I don't have hair care products at this time, but pretty much all your body care products.
Wow. And it all started with I need to do something about my own skin and rectifying that, because you weren't helped by physicians.
No, I wasn't. Just saw several different dermatologists and spent so much money, and it just made my skin worse. But after 8 months of using natural products, I healed my skin. So it was incredible.
That is amazing. That's amazing. Now, when you started your journey, at the end, the concept of the business, you know, I think that's where a lot of people struggle. They think of, you know, things that may help themselves or help other people, but then trying to pull it all together becomes overwhelming. And so at the beginning, when you first thought of this, what did you think of the business idea, or did you just think of how you could help, you know, heal your own skin? How did that start?
Well, it started with healing my own skin. So it was several years of making my own skincare products before I started my company.
Okay.
So I healed my own skin. Family and friends noticed they were using my products, and it continued for several different years. And then I had been working as an intelligence analyst for the government for several years. I was in the military for 8 years and then continued as an intelligence analyst for the government. And my next contract that I was going to take with the government was in Northern Virginia, and I didn't want to go there. I wanted to stay in California. So I said, well, should I look at jobs here? What should I do? And that's when I decided to start my own company.
Oh, okay. So you got tired of other people dictating your destiny, right?
Yeah.
And you had, you know, been helping people with their skin, not only your skin, but family and friends with their skin. And then you decided to turn it into a business.
Exactly.
Right. Because I think people get to that point but they don't know what to do next. So they kind of stay frustrated, and they continue the cycle of being frustrated, working that 40-hour job. That's a lie that turns into 60, 70 hours a week. And then they get transferred places they don't want to go, in environments they don't want to be in. And you spend 40 years of your life really unhappy to retire to at an age when you're really, not in the best health usually to do all of the things that you aspired to do when you were young. Very so I applaud you for saying, hold it. I'm not going to be dictated to anymore. I'm going to take what I have and run with it. And I like that whole entrepreneurial spirit. And the reason I wanted to talk to you, because it didn't start out that way. No. You worked for the government. You worked, you were in the military. And that's a very disciplined life where, a part of that is people telling you what to do, what time to do it, what time to wake up, what time to go to sleep, where you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, what you're going to eat. Right?
Exactly. Very true.
It's very, very controlling for a very good reason, because when you're in the military, you're protecting others, but you have to protect yourself too. So you have to be able to follow direction. So I get that whole part of it. But when you want to move on in your life and take more control over your life, you have to make a decision. And that's the decision we're talking about that you made.
Yeah.
Now, what came along with that decision? Did you just transition into it thinking, you know what, I'm just going to stay here, plant my roots, and build a business? Or did you go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How did that thought process go?
Well, I decided, okay, this is what I know, so this is what I'm going to do. And then I got into this system of I think it's called paralysis by analysis, or analysis paralysis, whatever it is, where you do so much research and then you're stuck.
Yes.
And so that was the next phase I got into. I was just a mess. I just wasn't sure what to do and just doing so much research. And finally I said, you know what, Katrina, just go. You have a little bit of money in the bank. Take it, spend it, invest in this, go.
Right, because you can analyze yourself into sheer fright.
Yes.
Because you feel like, okay, I don't know enough. I can't start until I know every single thing. And, and then you start thinking about, oh my, marketing and how am I going to get the word out, and so all this fear starts to build up till it can really paralyze you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So at some point you have to say stop, right?
Exactly. Just stop this crazy train. Let me just do this. If it fails, oh well, it's not going to kill me. It's going to be fine. Just go. Let me just try it.
Right. So then you got past that. And then what was your next step?
The next step was just filing all the official paperwork to make it a business, and just, deciding what products I was going to create and how I was going to create them. And then, getting the manufacturing and the vendors and the supplies, and just, delving right in and buying what I needed to. And if I bought too much or the wrong thing, oh, well, just gotta go. I'm in business now.
Exactly. And so who was your first customer? Your very first customer, when you got all the ingredients in the right bottle and, had it all put together, and you opened for business. Did you start by doing a show, or how did you?
I think the first customer was my sister.
Okay.
I think she was the first one. And then I started right away doing shows. So I was doing little events. And so it was groups of people after that. But I think Candace was the first one.
Oh, shout out to Candace. Because there's always one person that buys into your idea, right? That really propels you, so you're going along and you're still a little bit nervous, and you're like, you're filling up those bottles with whatever your merchandise is, or, and then it's that one sale that you go, okay, I'm really doing this, right?
Exactly. Yeah, this is a real thing. Okay, I just got money for this. All right, go me.
Yeah, and that's when you see, even in stores, people put their, the first money they make, they put them in the casing, and because that signals, I'm getting paid for this. So I want the audience to take what we're saying into consideration, that when you go into a store or any type of business and you see that frame on the wall with the money in it, that was the person's first indication that they were a real business. And that's really what that signifies. And sometimes, we walk in and we walk right past it. We pay it no attention, or some people look at it and go, why do they have that money up there? That's the reason, because that signified that this was the start of a business, because it was trading what you made for money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so true. Sometimes I'll look around stores and I'll look for that dollar on the wall and I'll see it and I'll be like, yes, they did it too. And you feel so proud of them for where they've come. So it's beautiful.
Now, being in the skincare business, that takes, a lot of patience and diligence in working with people, because, people are very emotional when it comes to their skin. And I wanted to talk about that too. The emotion are tied to your appearance, so, what type of people come to you? Is it all genders, all ages? What?
Absolutely. The majority of my customers are women, but I also have male customers. Their ages anywhere from maybe 25 to 55 is typically the range. And it's people who, have great skin and just want to continue to have great skin.
Right.
Maybe somebody who is using regular, just off the shelf, mainstream products and wants to switch to, non-toxic, healthy, clean skincare. Maybe it's somebody like that, or maybe it's somebody who does have skin issues such as acne or sunspots, or, they have some lines and wrinkles on their face that they want to start, helping reduce and things like that. So yeah, it's just really wide across the spectrum.
Wow. Okay. Today we're talking to Katrina, and Katrina's company is called Catixen. I was close.
You were so close.
Catixen. And she is a skincare expert, and we're walking through her walk to success. And I wanted to thank you again for coming on, because this is great information. It's not only telling us about how to have healthy skin, but also her road to success. So this is Lunch with the Finance Bunch. This is Miss Charline. You can reach us on Accelerated Radio at acceleratedradio.net/ARP. And if you watch an episode and you really like it, you can listen to an episode and you really like it. You can also watch it on YouTube by going to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. And please subscribe and ask us questions. Ask us, questions about guests that we've had on. Talk to us about what you'd like to see us have on. We're open to, what you'd like to see, because we're here for you. That being said, the next part I want to talk about is the same thing I know everyone asks you, is your skin is so beautiful. And it just looks dewy and healthy, and and even one of my team asked you, okay, do you wear sunscreen or not? You're not supposed to wear sunscreen. So I want to go through all of that since we have you here.
Okay.
So to get that beautiful dewy skin, what does that entail? What is your morning regimen?
I like to keep things simple. I really don't like to overcomplicate things. So my morning regimen is just cleansing my skin. I have a chamomile tea facial cleanser that I use. That's really nice for stopping inflammation, for keeping skin moist, for keeping it beautiful, deep down clean. So do my chamomile tea facial cleanser. Then after that, I put on my moisturizer. And so I use my Restore Youth facial oil blend, which is a mix of carrot seed oil, jojoba oil, and rose hip seed oil, which is really great for scarring and damaged skin and for moisture content. And it's really great to protect the skin. So just 2 steps. I don't like to get all crazy. I don't like to, pack on products. And when you're using excellent skincare, really high quality skincare, you don't need a lot.
Okay.
So you don't need 8 or 9 or 10 steps. So it's pure, it's effective, just 2 steps.
It took 2 steps to get to the skin you have today.
Well, in that process, there's, I did fruit acid peels. That's not something that I do daily, but that's something that I do to maintain great skin maybe once a week.
Okay.
So when people think of fruit, they don't really think about them in skincare. But the truth is that fruit has a lot of natural acids. It has AHAs, which are alpha hydroxy acids. It has glycolic acids, malic acids, which are all really, really powerful for renewing your skin cells, keeping your skin bright, keeping it beautiful, keeping it soft. Think about when you eat a lot of pineapple,
right,
and your tongue gets raw. If you were to puree pineapple and put it on your face for 20 minutes, it'll do the same thing to your skin. It's going to slough off dead skin cells. It's going to brighten your skin. It's going to soften your skin. And so I do that once a week to maintain great skin. And so simple things like that are also part of my regimen.
And that was my point. You do such simple things that, and from, going to other, I'm sure when you go to skincare shows and you see other groups, they're telling you to put 10 different things on your face to get to the same result. And it just does not make sense when you sit down and can people consult with you? That's another thing I wanted to ask you. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm so excited to have you here.